Today's video is sponsored by Reroll. Do you spend a lot of time tweaking your video game characters to look just right? Wish you could do the same with your D&D character? Hold on to your bottomless bag, because now you can. Create incredible custom pixel art characters with a growing selection of races, armors, outfits, and pets you can tweak and perfect your character like never before. Click the link below or check out Reroll on iOS and Android. Now what you're here for. When my D&D party just can't think outside the box. Hi everyone, All Things D&D is back with another story. This story is more or less a cry for help. What do you do as a DM when your players are singularly focused and can't try to solve problems without stabbing them? If that's the kind of game you want to run and they want to play, that's great. But what advice would you offer this DM that wants his players to think for themselves? Tell us after listening to his plight. I've been the forever DM for my friend group. My friends and players are playing a Tabaxi Barbarian, a Tabaxi Bard, and Half-Elf Cleric. They are all level 6. During Session 0, I asked the group if they're okay with doing a campaign of my homebrew setting, revolving around exploring a never-before-seen continent. They say it sounds like fun. Cue the first session. They meet up with a dwarf sea merchant who wants to hire them as guards to protect his wares on the voyage to this newly discovered continent that is little known about. They all say sure thing, no hesitation. I asked them out of character if they want to ask why the dwarf was doing this, what he knows about the continent, what was in it for them, how it had recently been discovered, or if they have any questions at all. They say nah. I'm a little confused at this point, but okay. The dwarf tells them they depart the next day, and they head straight to bed. Early the next day, they get up before the sun rises to get to the ship, and one character's passive perception beats the stealth roll of someone hiding nearby. I tell her she sees someone duck behind a large crate near the ship they're heading to. She says okay and just keeps walking. They talk to the dwarf again on the ship, and the same player notices the person that had ducked behind a crate, now aiming a crossbow at the dwarf. I ask what she wants to do. She says, like what? Maybe push him out of the way or notify him that someone is trying to shoot him, I suggested. Oh, yeah, I do that. She manages to push the dwarf out of the way, and the crossbow bolt sails through the air, where he had just been standing. Fast forward a session. They make a stop in a neighboring kingdom before voyaging to the new continent. The dwarf asks them to find out any info about the continent people might have, especially pertaining to where the native people might be living. They find out that people from the new continent sent an envoy to this kingdom a couple of months ago, and that's how people found out about them. Everyone that personally met the envoy has been jailed or mysteriously disappeared, other than the noble in charge of the region. The party breaks into the noble's dungeon to meet with one of the people who was jailed. They do this by having the barbarian distract the guards outside by causing a brawl in the street, while the trickery domain cleric and bard disguise themselves as guards to fool the ones inside. The prisoner tells them about a map the envoy gave the noble of the continent and where to find the people. He also tells them where in the castle it is in exchange for freeing her. They say cool and leave to report back to the dwarf. Dwarf asks them why they didn't try to steal the map, since he specifically requested such info. They say, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So they promptly turn around, make their way back into the manor and steal the map. Okay. Fast forward a session. Following the recently acquired map, they are sailing across the sea when the ship's crew catch sight of the new continent. The dwarf decides to give a speech about how rich they're going to be, how they will be living like kings. You know, classic hype speech. The party is suspicious of something happening, and instead of paying attention to the speech, they do a perception check of the area around them. All low rolls, except one, who notices a ship on the horizon the size of a small dot. The crew hasn't noticed because they're focused on speech. I ask the person who noticed what they want to do. He informs the party and keeps an eye on the dot. I ask if they tell the captain or crew. They say no. Okay. The ship gets closer and fires a cannon on its bow. The cannonball splashes off the starboard side of the ship, a narrow miss. The crew rushes to their battle stations as the ship gets closer in order to board. The enemy ship is full of orc pirates, who throw grappling hooks and begin to climb them to come onto their ship. Just a quick note, when I made this encounter, the hope was the party would either come up with a clever way to escape the ship, stop the pirates from boarding, or escape with their lives, not just brute force their way through. As the orcs are climbing over, the barbarian gets the idea of cutting the ropes they're using to climb over. Inside, I'm happy they're thinking of a solution to the problem other than just fighting. I ask if the other players help. They say nah. I ask what they do instead. They say just get ready to fight. Okay. The fight begins, and after a couple of turns, it's not going their way. As slowly, more and more orcs climb aboard. It looks like they're gonna fight to the bitter end, so I have the dwarf yell abandon ship and run to a rowboat to escape. Party decides to leave with them. As they're rowing to shore, they pass in front of the bow of the pirate ship. I say one of the orcs points at them and yells something to his comrades. Orcs slowly start to angle the cannon on the bow down in order to shoot the passing rowboat. I ask them what they do. One says, well, that's it, isn't it? We can't really do anything. Second party member agrees. Yeah, I guess we just die. In my head, I'm thinking of all the spells the bard and cleric could do to just distract the orcs and put their aim off. The barbarian could throw one of her spears at one of the orcs to prevent them from having it ready by the time they pass through. I'm sitting there in complete shock for 5 seconds before I say, you could just, jump out of the boat they're aiming at. Yeah, I guess we do that. Okay. The shock wave from the cannonball hitting the water knocked them out, and they ended up washing ashore. So far, my players are really enjoying the campaign, but I just wish they would think creatively once in a while and not just do what I put in front of them. Is there any way I could encourage them to think less one-dimensionally? One quick word from our sponsor, Reroll. The style is really captivating. I love the look and the options, but I also love how easy it is to use. Quickly pick your favorite look and download your custom character. I've been making NPCs and using them as tokens on digital platforms. Save yourself some time and money and click the link in the description below to start creating your next D&D character in pixel art, or check the App Store for Reroll. I think this may be a combination of issues. Sounds like the players are new and may not understand all of their skills and spells. In my opinion, the players are looking for a hack and slash get loot campaign, while the DM is trying to create problems for them to solve that can't be resolved with the sharp end of a sword. What do you think? Are the DM and players on different pages? What would you do? Please let us know what you think and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, All Things D&D. Our next video will be posted in 3 days, so stay tuned for more amazing Dungeons & Dragons content.